Wouldn't it be nice if you could make your best pieces even better? Or make your process even better? TikTok claims that they have the solution to both of these things. There's copyrighted music, so I'll kind of just explain what's going on here. Seems like they're using an airbrush, blue airbrush, and then now it's yellow, and they're using soft light on this blue orangey layer. For this, I think the easiest thing that I can do is just pull up an old drawing of mine instead of creating a new one. I'm gonna use my most recent drawing. New layer, blue. The funny thing is, when I say adding new layer and stuff like that, my Clip Studio Paint is across 2 different screens, and that's where my layers are. Okay, so it's like blue, and then the middle is this like reddish orange, something like that, I guess. And then you put it onto soft light. That certainly does have effect to just lighten it up a little bit. This just looks dumb. I don't know what it's trying to do. Like, I get that there's like warm tones near the middle of your face and then around your jaw and stuff. Like, it can get a little bit more, like there's less blood, so it has a bit more of a grayish appearance. But having it look like this is like, quite honestly, weird. I don't know, I actually duplicated the layer. But maybe it's a drawing. I'll give it the benefit of the doubt and say it's the drawing. No. Just no. It doesn't work. It's like too blue. Here's another one of those TikToks that use music again. So I gotta explain things. So it seems like she's drawing streaks of colors, having it, doubling it, and then using a flat brush. So smudge. It's a smudge tool to make braids. It seems to be like dark brown, this light gray. Okay. I think like I probably am just sucking at this, you know. I'm just gonna fill that in and make it easier for myself. Then like an orange, and then it gets lighter. And then it just goes super duper bright, like almost white. And then I'm supposed to half it. I don't know where halfway is, so that's like a bit of an issue. It's like halfway, right? I have no way of telling. And then copy this and move it over to the right. I guess this is the thing. Okay. Huh. It says I need their brushes. $40. Hell no. I gotta see if it's possible. Like, can I do it with regular old smudging tool? I think I'm gonna try 2 different ways. I have a flat watercolor brush. I'm gonna try this first. So, now, I don't know how big this brush needs to. Oh, that's definitely not it. What? Okay. I'm just gonna use regular old smudge. Bigger than that. This. Well, that brush doesn't work either. Oh, this seems like the brush to do it. Not really. I mean, unless my values are off. I mean, this certainly looks like it. My computer is dying. It's not saturated enough. If we just increase the contrast. There we go. I did it, guys. It actually looks pretty accurate. I'll say it certainly looks cool, but in terms of like application, I just don't really see how you can really apply this. One like that. Okay. So now is I'm gonna do my how I would do things regularly and see if that's any better. But I feel like this is gonna end up a bit better. Yeah, this doesn't really look like braids though, because there's an intersecting point to this. So I need to fix that. I don't know, I kind of forgot how braids are supposed to work. Don't really understand how this works, so I mean, it looks cool, I guess. No idea what I just drew. You know what? Mine's not even better, not even close. I need to search up what do braids look like. I don't know why I forgot how to do braids. Like, I've done braids hundreds of times. I'm not fixing things. Here's to hopes that this is a very interesting brush. I desperately need to use this. So this is the brush that I'm gonna be using. I think it was that. Yeah. What do I try this on? I guess I gotta make a brand new drawing. And it's gotta be something with line art to it. I just gotta color this entire thing gray. After finishing this entire drawing, let's see, does it work? Okay, so wait. Oh, it's working now. I think. Oh, it is working. Kind of. So it kinda works. I mean, this is way better and way smoother. I mean, it's nice, it's cool. If you have like really clean line art, then this probably works extremely well. Yeah, see, it just cuts through because my line art isn't thick enough, so it's not like picking it up. But I mean, it's nice. Look at that. That was really easy. Is this? Yeah. So it just seems like alpha locking and then multiply. Because I skipped it. I guess I could just redo it right there. So that's kind of my light source. Currently doing all that. But the thing I made a mistake was with this. I need colors. This is gonna be my skin tone color. And then there's gonna be my jacket color, which is gonna be something like that. And I'm only gonna use what came before, so I'm not fixing any of this. All future art tips are just gonna be solely applied onto this drawing. I now have like all the colors done. So let's see. How is this gonna look? We set this to multiply. Huh. 50%. Cool. 50. I was about to say that looks a bit awkward. Okay. Interesting. You know what? What if I changed it? What if I made the lighting scenario a bit more interesting? That's a little bit more interesting. But this is more of like a gradient. I don't know. I don't really like it. You're not really in control of your values here. Because different parts are gonna have different shadows, right? So I don't know. Maybe it's just like as a base shading.
Art tutorial because none of you know how to shade or highlight. Alright, here we have the dark colors, midtones, and brighter colors. They all work harmoniously, right? Right. But you know what the best part is? I just used one color for both and added blending modes. Let me show you how it works. Here we have the entirety of the rainbow, as well as my dark and my light. Here's what we're going to do. Usually for the darker color, we want to use the tone multiply. Oh, that's very dark. Looking at the opacity. Nice. For the lighter color, you might want to use add if you want a brighter thing, or you can actually use overlay. Never mind, use add. Bring down the opacity to make it lighter. You may use different combinations in order to get this out.
So let's see. Let me pick my values. So if this is my brightest color, so this is one value right here. Cool. Now I have my 4 color tones here. So then one side is multiply, and then there's another side which is highlight. And the highlight that I want is this one, I guess. This should be literally the exact same colors. Is this not like the same colors I have here? No, not at all. This is a completely new color. It's just you kind of need to choose because things change so much within a color. Because then if we go to highlights for the eyes, then it's like... Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I mean, typically I would choose something like that. But it also kind of just depends on what you're going for. Because these are very linear type colors. Yeah, and her skin just ends up being too bright. Like, if you look at it, I think this might be the original skin tone that I selected. Let's see the difference. It's basically the same one. But I wouldn't really call it like a really... So far, this looks like an atrocity. Yeah, I'm gonna finish this piece with this colors. Whatever shadows I have here are the shadows I'm using. I'm not using any new shadows. You just end up picking majority of the colors yourself. Unless you're having like a two-tone style. But for somebody like me, this is not help. Like, this is highlights for lips. My darkest color for lips, which not exactly impressed with. This is a big reason why this stuff doesn't work. Is because if you're going based off of just every single color gets the same multiply, then you're gonna run into problems because colors will look a little bit different. If the skin gets hit by light, it's not gonna be the same way that if it hits a solid piece of cloth, because a solid piece of cloth, it does diffuse, it softens a little bit, but there's no reflection in the inside. So what ends up happening with skin is you get the subsurface scattering where some of the light goes to the skin and it will light up some of the blood underneath, and then you get a bit of a red pigmentation. But when you don't have that and everything is just has that same lighting where it's like it goes up in the same amount of values as every other color, then it's gonna look really weird. But you know what? You have like the really strong blue, and then you have the orangey thing over here, and then was it you did what? Yes. This is actually becoming hilarious. It's gotta be a little bit more. And then now I gotta do a bit of the hair. Yeah, I don't like this color. I mean, this is a bit lighter, but I don't like any of these colors. Like, what? In no ways do I see this really working all too well. Because this is again a problem of like, light isn't gonna hit the same way. While hair is more reflective, it usually doesn't really change its color, it just becomes highlighted. Like most of the times, like you'll see blacks and it's like might have a little bit of the color in it, black or something. It's pretty obvious when it's brown, but this is just becoming a completely new color. Like this is a color that you would see in blonde hair. Well, now with this Frankenstein creation that we have here that's done with multiple different art hacks, time to move on to the next one. Huh. How to draw mouths.
How to draw mouths.
I erased it all. So it's kind of like this squiggly thing. Given perspective, it's gonna look something a little bit more like that. Beautiful. I couldn't find a lot of art hacks, to be honest. I found it very hard. I'm just gonna finish this as a regular pizza now. That was one thing I was actually having an issue was with actually finding like true legitimate art hacks. There was so much of just the brush that does the fingers for you. Like I don't think these art hacks are really as helpful as they're portrayed to be. Like art hacks are just not going to make up for not having the skill. Like you need the skill. No matter how many art hacks you do, it's not going to make you a better artist. You can try. It will definitely make your art look better, but it's not going to fix your anatomy. They're not going to make your shading somehow 10 times better. I mean, it could make the colors more saturated. But that's it. A lot of these art hacks just did not work for my art style because of the fact that I have more of a semi-realism art style where majority of these art hacks are for beginners who are mostly dealing with anime or comic book inspired styles, or I just thought was really stupid, which is like copying the other eye, and that's don't copy the other eye, draw the other eye. Trust me, it is way better than copying the other eye is stupid. And I actually want to give a bit of a tip right here. So for this eye right here, because there's like a little tiny, the eye kind of works like a bubble, and where the iris and the pupil is, there's an indentation. So the light sits on top, and then it's hitting this back here. Then the light will hit here. So that's why I have the light right there, instead of where you would typically think it is, which is like right here. But no, that's not right, because if we were to draw a line, this is where it's gonna hit. If the light is here, it hits there, and if the light is here, it's gonna hit there. Or not, it's gonna hit here or something like that. It's gonna hit on the opposite side. So if it hits here, it's gonna hit the furthest point, so you can still have it here, but then this is not gonna be as much. Or if it hits here, so from the bottom, it's gonna go in a direct line up here. So this is where your light's gonna be, and this entire part right here is gonna be shadow. There's my art hacks. My art hacks is understanding. I think that's personally the greatest art hack that you could achieve is just figuring out basic understanding of things. It's not very hard at all. It's very easy to grasp these concepts. I think that the red was an attempt, surely, but something like this actually needs to be done. And then you just do slight. And then now it's a bit more red. Unlike before, you know, I think it needs to be a little bit more slight. There we go. One thing I'll say is, when it comes to the hair, I like to draw it a bit more rough, a bit more hard. Watching a 5-minute YouTube video and learning something really small, something super basic, is way more efficient and effective than watching a 1-minute TikTok telling you how to do a tutorial that useful. Even like, and if you're a beginner artist, I think that skipping, like, you don't want to try to skip. You want to try to draw as much as possible and get an understanding for these things. I feel like it definitely made this drawing interesting, but I definitely did not need the help of those. I feel like the only hack that like worked for the most part here was the eraser tool. That one, erase along edge, was really, really nice. The rest are a miss. So I will give this overall experience a 2 out of 10